Hello, welcome back to my channel. A year later, I have decided to reappear. I've attempted to film a couple of videos in the past year to make a comeback, but it just never was the right time. So I've decided now is the right time. Where do I start? Well, I thought I would start by having, instead of just like a catch up the last year, I thought I would do 10 things I've learnt in London since being here for a year. Strap on in, it's gonna be very life oversharey, but I guess that's kind of what having a YouTube channel entails. So welcome. I also sound a little bit nasally because I just vacuumed my flat and I was opening up the place where all the dust is kept, where you empty it out. I opened it up and it kind of like went everywhere and onto me. So I was like covered in dust for a hot minute. So I've changed my clothes and now I'm a little allergic to dust. So my nose was just dripping. Anyway, all good. Welcome back. Welcome back to me, I guess. Welcome back to you and to me. First of all, because the last time you saw me, I was unemployed. I was living with my mum's friend. Both those things have changed. I'm now employed and I live in Southwest London, so yay. That's pretty much like the biggest updates. So I got my job in about like late October and then I moved about a month after to Clapham. So 10 things I have learned. And I thought it'd be fun to like start in different areas of my house. So, I mean, it's not a huge house, but currently, welcome to my living room. You are on my huge couch that we actually just got a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, at least a couple weeks ago. My flatmate's dad got this couch for us. So he's taken our tiny little one that came with the flat into storage and we have a big couch. So welcome to my couch. If you didn't know, I'm living in London, by the way, which I said Southwest London, so I'm sure that makes sense. But I have become very conscious of my Australianness. Everyone's like, "G'day, mate." I don't know, but everyone is just like always loving to mock me, which is fine. I can handle it. When I was in Australia, that wasn't unique. Everyone's like the same. Yeah, I'm super conscious that I'm Australian, but as I said, I'm living in Clapham, which is where like anyone who's Australian who moves to London live. I mean, there's little pockets, but there's a lot of people here who are the same. I, on the daily, will be reminded, whether it's people at work or friends, or I mean it lightheartedly. I don't take offense to being mocked. I think it's funny. Next, I learnt that I don't need everything to be perfect, specifically in my flat. I don't need it to look perfect. In fact, for this exact learning, let's change location. So when I first moved, I wanted all the like nice kitchenware that I could get, like my bedroom sorted, like prints on the walls, but that's actually not, for most people, financially possible, because when you move, you have all these things you need to buy. It literally can cost like £1,000. I've been having to force myself to buy things slowly and incrementally, you know, as I get paid and as I start to tick off the essential things and then get the, you know, the nice to haves later down the track. Actually, biggest one is this beautiful chest of drawers that I only just got a week ago from some friends that I bought just off them because they were moving. I'd been living with the chest of drawers that comes with the flat, which is fine, except as I've been accumulating more and more clothes, it's just become like, my room is becoming either a floordrobe / bedrobe where my clothes just spill everywhere and it's too messy and chaotic and it's not sparking joy. So I got a new chest of drawers, which is very exciting. Moral of the story is it's impossible to buy all the things you need to have. Don't go in with the expectation that your home is going to be perfect within, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Like, I lived here for a year and I've only just hung my prints that I bought in February. I bought the frames in like April and then I actually hung them on the wall with 3M strips a month ago. So like it's a work in progress always. So I think that has been something that I've had to adjust. Obviously, moving out of home fully, it's been an adjustment. That is something that I've learnt. Welcome to my kitchen. It's a very small, cozy kitchen, but you know, it does the job because I literally live with one other person, so there's 2 of us. The next thing I learnt is how to properly strength train, this is very random. I started going to the gym. I actually was scouted by a PT who thought my lat pull downs were so bad that he had to let me know and help me out, which, you know, was very kind. Anyway, I ended up doing a couple PT sessions with this guy. He upsold me and I was like, cool. So this was maybe 3 months ago now, I've learnt how strong I actually am, because picking up a 10 kilo dumbbell and doing a little doing a little dumbbell press with it felt terrifying. That's 20 kilos. But I actually can do it. So I've learned how strong I actually am. And it's like built the mental confidence that I needed in my brain to realize what I can actually do. And then also it has taught me like how to actually train. So how to actually like pick up a barbell and do like a deadlift or something. And it's taught me proper techniques. So that has been something that I've learned in London. I mean, I could have learned that anywhere, but yeah, that's been something that I've learned the last couple months, which has been like a game changer, because it is so important to have muscle, like needless to say. And my mum actually has early onset osteoporosis, and so obviously it's something that my body would be potentially prone to. That's just something that I am aware of and wanting to deal with. I look very small in my room. The ceilings are really high. If I can just quickly show you, like that's the window. That's how tall the window is. It goes up to the ceiling. And then this is where I am, next to the window. Very tall ceilings. I love it because my room is kind of small. Next thing I learned was financial responsibility, which I know sounds really like duh, but to go from living at home, my disposable income was so much more because I wasn't paying rent, wasn't paying bills, and I'm now, you have to have a strict budget, and if you don't, you're going to struggle unless you have someone else who can feed you money, which, I mean, I don't. So I had to figure out real quick, you know, what I can actually afford to do in a month. And in the first couple months of living out of home, it was an adjustment of, you know, I really would love to buy this top, but I actually can't afford to until next month. So it's delaying that like gratification of certain things that I wouldn't have had to make a conscious choice about in the past. So that's been a huge learning process, and I actually created a budget. I broke down like what I needed to spend my money on. So for example, rent, bills, groceries, the tube, so my transport, phone bill. I think those are my main expenses. And then after that, how much money do I have to first of all save? And then last of all, what do I have to spend things on to actually enjoy my life? It's been an adjustment because, you know, I wasn't used to developing that. And that's why people give you the advice when you're younger to, when you're living at home, pay rent, but pay it into your savings account so that you can build up your savings whilst you're young, but also develop the habit of not having as much money as what's given to you in your paycheck. Yeah, I've learned how to be reasonable, be disciplined as well. Where was I going with this? Well, I just wanted to be super transparent with what I can afford, which is not a lot. So my rent is $1,075, and then my bills are $100 to $150 a month. Long story short, it's expensive. It's all about striking a good balance, getting lucky with your landlord, getting lucky with your area. But yeah, I've really had to learn how to be pragmatic, which, you know, is something that I'm privileged enough to not be able to have learnt until now. It's definitely something that has been a learning experience for me, and that's what this video is about, so that's what I've learned. The next thing that I have learnt, and this is like a bit of a funny one, but I've learnt that I don't know how to phrase it. I have found love in London. I don't know how else to phrase that without it sounding cringe, so that's just gonna have to be how I word it. Sorry if I made everyone cringe. I basically found a boyfriend off the street. Very funny, but the last video that I recorded, if not the last, maybe the second last, I was going out 7 or 8 o'clock or whatever. I was actually going out on a Hinge date with Josh, my boyfriend. In the first like 2 weeks in London, I, met a very lovely man, and the rest is history. I learned that I could have a very happy relationship in London. No, I'm very happy. Enough said. Next thing I learned, which I guess is kind of in the same realm of relationships, but I learned that friendships are hard to make when you're starting from scratch. I've been very lucky that I have been able to meet a lot of my boyfriend's friends, sort of insert myself into their friend group, and they're all very lovely. But I've really struggled to make friends on my own. Like I'm very easygoing, I'm very comfortable meeting new people, but I think when it comes to making a friendship last long term, that's where I struggle. It's not because I'm like intentionally doing anything or they're intentionally doing anything. I think it's just one of those things that people struggle with, where back in Australia, I've got my friends from home who are from high school, primary school, I've known my whole life, etc. Those built-in friendships. And then to start totally fresh is hard. And so yeah, it's been a struggle to meet new people, to be honest. Like, it wasn't as quickly as I thought, I guess. Part of why maybe that wasn't the case for me was because I put a lot of time and energy into my relationship, which I don't regret. Very happy. But I think it's one of the trade-offs, like you only have so much time in a day and in a weekend when you're not working. So it's just where your priorities go. And I think also like some things cost money as well. So if I wanted to do different social things, that cost money. So yeah, that's just been something that I've struggled a little bit with, and something that I realized takes quite a lot of, not a lot of effort, but I think to continuously meet up with people takes effort. And I mean, I've tried like, there's a app called Times Left, and it puts you with a bunch of people and you go out for dinner together and you meet new people, and it's really cool. So I did that, and then I sort of hung out with a couple people after the fact, but it just fizzles. I went on a Bumble date with a friend, which was very cute. That was lovely, but haven't really had anything come from that. So I guess I've met people, I just haven't been able to have those friendships stick, I guess. Next thing that I learned, and I wanted to relocate to the bed because I'm getting a bit tired. Why did I get tired? I don't know. Actually, I know, because I did hot Pilates today, which was, it's basically like HIIT. It's like a HIIT class, but they call it hot Pilates. And it's a lot. So I did that today, and I literally like sweated buckets, and I am a little tired, but we digress. The next thing that I've learned is, and this is a crazy realization that I've had the last couple months, I guess, cover your ears to my parents and friends, but I could live in the UK forever. I really could, which is crazy. I mean, I always envisaged that I lived here for a couple years and then move back, but things change. I mean, I'm dating someone here. Who knows what happens with work, and yeah, it's just hard to predict what's gonna happen. So as people may or may not know, I have a British passport, so I don't have to go, which is why this is something that is possible. But yeah, I've learnt that, if I happen to, like, I would probably be quite happy to. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? That's what I've learnt that I could. Hi, back on the couch. Because I actually don't have that many locations in my flat, and I don't think the bathroom tour is very exciting. Next thing that I learned, how elite it is to be in like a walkable city. Previously, I would have said, I'm a driving gal through and through. Give me my car, give me my keys. Walking, tubing, busing, line biking, that's fun too. It's a different experience, and it's so different from what I was used to. I had a stress fracture. Don't believe me? Here is my boot from when I had a stress fracture. I needed to wear a boot, which is just so crazy because people would then look at me and go, oh my God, what happened? And I would have to say, I literally just am not used to walking. Like, I can't make it up. I I don't know. My bones are very brittle, obviously. Anyway, but driving might be overrated. So that has been something that I've learned, that it's actually quite fun to be able to get the tube everywhere and to get the bus and Lime bike. I Lime biked today. It's on my little bike. Welcome to my backyard. So cute. It's actually been raining and it's windy and it's cold. So I'm not gonna be out here for long. Next thing I've learned is I love matcha. Enough said. I mean, who doesn't? And if you don't, you need to try it. And if you don't like it, you need to try it again until you like it. Because that was my experience. But it has to be iced, not hot. Not hot, iced. And yes, I love matcha. That's what I've learnt. I'm very basic, I know, but it's basic because it's good. Welcome to my garden. Back in my room because it's cozy. I learnt long distance relationships suck. And when I say this, I mean, you know, long distance friendships, long distance family relationships. It's tough. It's really tough, and there's nothing that makes it better. It's never going to be the same as seeing someone in person. You know, you can text, call people as much as you want. I speak to my family at least once a day usually. Usually we're constantly messaging, which wouldn't have been the case at home, obviously, because we were in the same place, but I think it has made us want to communicate more. I call my parents quite a lot of mornings before work when I'm walking to the tube because they're awake or they're finishing their day, to not get to see people that you love as often as you'd like. Sucks. There's not much you can do about that, and there's been a lot of things that have happened in my family this year that have been hard, and having to deal with that without being able to see them and being long distance is hard. I luckily got to see my mum in May this year. We went to New York together. We have family there, so we went and visited. Exciting though. I have booked to go to Australia for a month over Christmas and New Year's and a bit of January, so I am absolutely excited for that. That is, I fly on the 11th of December and then fly back on the 11th of January. So I get a full month, and I'm very much looking forward to catching up with everyone. And my friends and I, we've got a house booked for New Year's Eve in Copacabana, so in central coast of Sydney. So I'm really, really excited to be able to see everyone and catch up, and yeah, that will be really fun. On the flip side is you get to do so many cool things being closer to the rest of the world. Like, why did Australia have to be so far away? Because I have been able to go to Copenhagen, Spain, as I mentioned, New York, Nice, Canada. I've been to some amazing holidays this year that I just would not have been able to do if I just wasn't so close to everything. And I feel very lucky to be able to just jump on a plane that's like an hour long to get to a beautiful country and see so much that's different, and it's something that we're not used to in Australia. It's cool. It's really cool to be close to the rest of the world and to be able to travel to such cool places as well. So those are all the things that I have learnt. 10 things plus one, I guess, that I have learnt living in London. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. That's where I am at this point in time. I hope you learnt some new things. I am still alive, in case you were wondering if something happened. But yeah, no, I really want to get back into it. It's a really fun hobby to have, and I think I've been deprioritizing it. You know, work gets super busy, but just have to have the boundaries, and spending the time to actually do something for me and a hobby that's fun. And I love getting to share things with people and getting to see people's comments and messages, which is cool. So I think I'll keep going. And I think what is a consistent something that I can commit to is once a week. So I'm gonna try and start posting once a week, and it's getting really autumnal, which I love saying the word autumnal, but it's getting autumnal. My sweaters are out. The quilt is back on the bed. This is my quilt. I actually love this quilt so much. It's from Oliver Bonus, which is a store that I love. The quilt is back on the bed. I'm about to order a electric blanket, like a electric blanket throw type thing. I'm gonna order one off of Amazon. Everything is getting colder, but it's fun. It's kind of like different, and I think I'm also not as sad because I know I'm gonna get a month of summer when I go back to Australia. So my time will come where it will be warm again, so I'm not too worried. And Christmas vibes. It is September. Well, it was September a couple days ago. It's now October. I've been listening to Christmas music, but not like listening to Mariah Carey, like All I Want for Christmas. I'm listening to cozy Christmas jazz. It's a playlist on Spotify that I've discovered, and it's such a good vibe, and it barely even feels like a Christmas song. Like, I'm not listening to like Michael Bublé. I'm listening to like just a chill vibe, and I actually listen to it when I work, and it makes me feel so zen, and I love listening to it just like all the time. And I'm actually gonna put it on like right after this video because I'm making a cottage pie, which is so autumnal. I'm in the spirits of it. I'm excited. What can I say? So yeah, that is enough talking from me. I hope you really enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a little bit about me, where I'm at, how's my life. Life's good. Life's great. Can't complain. But yeah, those are the 10 things I've learned, and I'll be back next week with another video. That's all I've got to say. So with that, see you later.